Hello and good day. I'm Nellie Wosu, publisher and CEO of Gatmoon Publishing, right here in Concord, North Carolina. Today we're on location at the Logan Community Multipurpose Center. We're here today to honor Miss Mattie Franklin, author of My Life of Memories, From Childhood to Adulthood, The Challenges and Triumphs of a Woman of Faith for His Glory. In Miss Mattie's book, she talks about her upbringing right here in the Logan community, the challenges that she had adjusting to life as she was a young adult moving on to Pennsylvania to take on a new role in the Northeast. Her book depicts some challenges for her when she had to learn about forgiveness and how could she overcome that. There were personal struggles, but I'll tell you this. She has done magnificently in being able to bring a new perspective to what living in yesteryear is all about for us today.
Franklin is the living epitome of the spiritual passage in Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Miss Franklin is a loving daughter and a dedicated wife and mother. In her book, My Life of Memories from Childhood to Adulthood, Challenges and Triumphs of a Woman of Faith for His Glory, Mattie Franklin explains her upbringing in Concord, North Carolina, where she was born and raised and still lives today. This narrative also provides a bird's eye view of how adversity in the spite of challenges can oftentimes lead to significant triumphs. These matters have led Miss Franklin into becoming a woman of faith for His glory. Get your copy today from Gatmoon Publishing and all online booksellers.
Miss Mattie, you recently had your first interview with Minister Jeffrey Moore. You did. Tell me about it.
One of the things he asked me was what gave me the desire to write the book. And I said, well, I think a lot about my childhood. And I said, then I started, jot little things down. Something came to me and said, well, why don't you write a book on it? And I thought about it. And I said, that is a good idea. Because memories is something, that eventually they will fade away. Yeah. And I said, well, while I'm still in my good mind, good memory, I think I'll go ahead and take an effort and make a start to write the book. And I said, then I will have something, for my children to read, and something that they can realize the way that I was raised and the way we lived back in those days. Yeah. And he also asked me, he said, some of the other things he asked me, he said that how it was not, about how I was raised and everything. So I said, I was raised in a very, very strict family. We had a fence around our house and yard, and they used to call me the little fence girl. And so I wasn't allowed to go out that fence unless I was going to church or going to school, and nobody was allowed in, except we had one neighbor, which was my very close friends, two of them. They were allowed to come, and we were just like sisters and brothers. We all went to school together, we went to church together, and now we still belong to the same church together. And some of the other questions was like, was I planning on writing another book? And I told him, I said, well, I have thought. I said, the way, the world, the things that's happening in the world today, I was thinking about writing something, and I jotted it down, something like, are we living in the end times? I had thought about that. And Right now, I'm not sure that I will go along with that, but it's still on my mind. Mm-hmm. So I'm asking God to lead me, in the whether, to go that way or not. So I'm just waiting on Him.
You said that God knows best every time. Why is that?
God knows best because when I first started out to write my book, and I sent it to a publisher in Pennsylvania, and I didn't think my book, really was going to pass, but I sent it to them, and they sent me a letter telling me that they would do the book, but the price that they gave me was really unaffordable. They would have published my book for $7,000, and there was no way I could have afforded that. And so I just waited. I waited. I think it was over a year or more. I waited. And then one of the church members, oh dear, I can't think of her name. One of the church members, Letha, asked me one day how was I coming on, with my book. And I told her, I said, well, honey, I have given up. I said, because I cannot afford the price. And that is when she mentioned you. And so she told me to come and talk to you. And I, remember me coming over there. Mm-hmm. And you told me that you would publish my book for a much, much lower price. And right then and there, I still knew that I had enough to save up the money. And when I really had made my mind up, I got in touch with my oldest son, who now lives in Philadelphia, and told him, that I was beginning, to write my book, my autobiography. And so I asked him, would he consider helping me, to finance it? And he said, yes, Mama. He said, I will. And he said, as a matter of fact, he said, I'll just pay for the whole thing. And I said, oh, Lord, thank you, Lord. And so he was sending me a little bit of money each month until I got the money paid. And I realized right then and there when I made the first effort, it just wasn't ready. God just wasn't ready for me to do that. It just wasn't ready. It just wasn't my time. And I prayed and prayed and prayed. And that's when I was sent to you. And looked like when I came to you, everything just went by so smooth. And I said, well, that was God's time. So He knew best. He knew when my time would be, and that was it.
I asked you all today, those wonderful people that are sitting here sharing with you in the present moment, and those that will see this online, see it on television in their homes on Roku, listen to it over the radio stations, internet broadcasting, who knows, maybe it will actually be on live broadcast too sometimes. What haven't you done yet that will determine your faith, that will say, yes, in spite of it all, no matter what, all I need to do is open my mouth and ask. Then I need to follow that up with faith that it has been granted. And when the proper time comes, it will be so. You have something else to say?
Yes, I would like to add one point. I challenge everyone that is here to take the step to write about your life story. Give your life story. Just sit down. If you can't remember everything, just as you go along, just jot down little by little. And eventually, when you get enough that you think you have enough jotted down to make a book, take the challenge so that your children will realize the life that we live and the way that we live. And they would know, and maybe that would help them out. Because, by writing this book, it really brought out a lot. It really did. And then I can say that I am so thankful right now of the way that I was raised and brought up. Because if it had not been the way my parents raised me, I don't know where I would be today. And I am so thankful and so grateful that I had the opportunity to do this.
And we're thankful and grateful that you were brave enough to actually do this. We celebrate you, Miss Mattie. We celebrate you. We do hope that you've enjoyed this showing of New Perspective with Nellie. The challenges and triumphs of a woman of faith for His glory author, Miss Mattie Franklin, has done something for us. It has encouraged us to be able to take a look back at our yesterday and move forward in our today and our days to come. It is Gatmoon Publishing's greatest desire to assist you in getting your voice heard in print. Thank you all. We look forward to seeing you again. Nice. The back. She did a good work. She did a good work. She really did. I'm very proud of her. Because how many people actually have fulfilled something they've always wanted to do? You know what I'm saying? How many of us,